Picture this. It is 3 in the morning. You are fast asleep, having a wonderful dream when suddenly, BAM! You hear the unmistakable sound of your favourite water glass shattering on the kitchen floor. You wake up, turn on the light, and there is your cat sitting on the counter, looking at you with absolutely zero remorse. Does your cat hate you? Are they doing this just to ruin your life? Or maybe, are they just broken? Welcome back, fellow cat mums and cat dads. Today we are talking about a struggle every single one of us faces: how to keep our indoor cats genuinely happy. Because let's be honest, an unhappy cat means an unhappy household. But don't worry, they aren't plotting your demise, they are just incredibly bored. Stick around because today I'm going to reveal 6 foolproof, science-backed and hilariously true ways to keep your indoor cat entertained, fulfilled, and purring like a rusty engine. And hey, before we dive into the secrets of the feline mind, drop a comment down below and tell me, what is the name of your fluffy hooligan, and what is the worst thing they've ever destroyed out of boredom? Before we can fix the problem, we need to understand what is actually going on inside that adorable, fuzzy little head. You see, we look at our cats and we see sweet little babies who love to sleep on our warm laundry. But Mother Nature? She looks at your cat and sees a ruthless, highly efficient apex predator. Thousands of years ago, the ancestors of our modern house cats were solitary hunters. They spent their days roaming massive territories, tracking prey, climbing trees, and defending their turf from rivals. Fast forward to today, and we have taken this wild, majestic creature and locked them inside a 2-bedroom apartment with a litter box and a bowl of dry kibble. We expect them to just lay on the sofa and be grateful for the free rent. But those ancient predatory instincts haven't gone anywhere. When an indoor cat doesn't have an outlet for their natural hunting, climbing, and scratching urges, that energy gets bottled up. And when that energy explodes, it results in the midnight zoomies, shredded curtains, and yes, the tragic murder of your favourite houseplants. So, keeping an indoor cat happy isn't about treating them like a human baby. It's about helping them channel their inner wildcat in a way that doesn't destroy your living room. Let's kick things off with the first major secret to feline happiness, which revolves entirely around how your cat views your home. We are talking about vertical space. Down here on the floor, everything is huge and unpredictable. We have our big couches, massive tables, and clumsy human feet constantly stomping around. For a cat, the ground is a zone of vulnerability. In the wild, their ancestors didn't just hunt in the grass. They climbed tall trees to escape bigger predators and to stalk their own prey from a hidden, safe vantage point. When you bring that deeply ingrained instinct indoors, your cat still fiercely craves the high ground. This is exactly why you will constantly find your fluffy little roommate sitting on top of the refrigerator, judging you while you make a sandwich at midnight. They aren't just trying to make you feel bad about your dietary choices, though maybe a little bit. They are primarily seeking safety and control over their territory. If an indoor cat doesn't have access to high places, they can become incredibly anxious, stressed out, and even aggressive. They feel trapped in a flat, 2-dimensional world when their brains are hardwired for a 3-dimensional jungle. So the absolute best thing you can do for your indoor cat's mental health is to give them permission to go up. Now, you might be thinking, great, I need to spend hundreds of dollars on a giant, ugly, carpeted cat tree that will ruin the aesthetic of my living room. But that is a massive myth. While a good, sturdy cat tree is an excellent investment, you don't necessarily have to empty your wallet to provide vertical space. Cats are thrilled with anything that gets them off the floor. You can easily clear off the top shelf of a sturdy bookcase, throw a cozy blanket up there, and boom, you have an instant cat penthouse. You can also install some inexpensive floating shelves on your walls, creating a superhighway that allows your cat to navigate the entire room without ever having to touch the floor. The key is to make sure these spaces are completely secure and won't wobble when a 10-pound furball launches themselves at it at top speed. Give them options near windows, near where you hang out, and in quiet corners. When your cat realizes they have a dedicated, elevated space that belongs only to them, where the dog can't reach them and the vacuum cleaner can't terrorize them, you will see a massive positive shift in their overall confidence and happiness. Let me share a quick story to illustrate why vertical pathways are so critically important. I once had a friend who complained that her cat was constantly knocking a very expensive, antique vase off a side table. She thought the cat was just being spiteful. But when we actually looked at the layout of her living room, we realized that the side table was the only stepping stone the cat could use to jump up to her favorite spot on the windowsill. The cat didn't care about the vase. The vase was simply blocking the highway. Once my friend moved the vase and added a small stool nearby as an alternative stepping stone, the spiteful behavior instantly vanished. Your cat is always trying to map out the most efficient routes through their territory. If you don't provide them with designated, clear vertical paths, they are going to create their own paths, even if that means stomping all over your laptop keyboard or scaling your expensive curtains like Spider-Man. Take a few minutes today to get down on your hands and knees and look at your room from your cat's perspective. Are there dead ends? Are there safe places to jump? Fixing these traffic jams will make your little dictator incredibly happy. Moving on to way number 2 to keep your indoor cat insanely happy, we need to talk about the hunt. As we established earlier, your sweet little purring machine is a born killer. In the wild, a cat might hunt up to 20 times a day, catching multiple small meals like mice and bugs. This hunting sequence, staring, stalking, pouncing, catching and killing, is literally what their brains are designed to do. When an indoor cat doesn't get to hunt, that predatory drive builds up inside them until they feel like they are going to explode. This is the exact reason why your cat suddenly gets the zoomies at 3 a.m., racing from the kitchen to the bedroom like they are being chased by invisible demons. They aren't crazy, they are just desperately trying to burn off the hunting energy that they didn't get to use during the day. If they can't hunt a mouse, they will hunt a shadow, a dust bunny, or worse, your ankles as you walk down the hallway. To keep your cat happy and save your feet from spontaneous attacks, you have to become the prey. You need to schedule dedicated playtime that specifically mimics the natural hunting experience. But here is a major mistake that so many cat parents make: relying entirely on the laser pointer. Yes, watching your cat scramble across the hardwood floor trying to catch the red dot is hilarious. But psychologically, the laser pointer can actually be deeply frustrating for a cat. Imagine playing a video game where you can never, ever win, no matter how hard you try. Because the cat can never physically catch the light, they never get the satisfaction of the kill, leaving them hyped up and completely unfulfilled. Instead, the absolute gold standard for interactive play is a wand toy with a feather or a little mouse attached to the end. But you can't just dangle it lazily in their face. You have to act like the prey. Make the toy hide behind a pillow, make it skitter across the floor, make it freeze like a terrified mouse. I call this the boil and simmer method. Get them running and jumping until they are panting a little bit, the boil. Then let them rest and stalk for a minute, the simmer. And then start the action all over again. This intense, focused play satisfies their primal urges in a way that nothing else can. The most crucial part of this interactive playtime is what happens at the very end. The hunting cycle isn't complete until the cat actually catches their prey. So, after a good 15-minute session of running and jumping, you must let your cat physically grab the toy, bite it, and do that hilarious little bunny kick thing with their back legs. That is them delivering the fatal blow to the feather toy. But we aren't done yet. In the wild, after a successful hunt, a cat eats their prize, grooms themselves to remove the scent of the prey, and then takes a long, glorious nap. You need to replicate this cycle. As soon as the play session is over and they have killed the toy, immediately give them a high-value treat or serve them their dinner. This triggers a deeply satisfying chemical response in their brain. Hunt, catch, kill, eat, groom, sleep. If you do this routine every evening before you go to bed, Not only will your cat be the happiest creature on earth, but they will also sleep entirely through the night. No more 3 a.m. wake-up calls, no more ankle attacks, just a happy, satisfied little predator dreaming about their epic victories. Of course, you can't be waving a wand toy around 24 hours a day, which brings us to solo play. Your cat needs toys they can interact with when you are busy working or sleeping. Things like little plastic springs, kicker toys stuffed with catnip, or crinkle balls are absolutely fantastic for this. However, here is the secret that nobody tells you. If you leave all your cat's toys scattered all over the living room floor all the time, your cat will get incredibly bored with them. To a cat, a toy that never moves and is always available is essentially a dead mouse. And cats don't want to hunt a dead mouse, they want something fresh and exciting. The trick here is toy rotation. Keep a secret stash of toys in a closet. Every few days, pick up the toys that are on the floor and swap them out for different ones from your stash. When you bring out that crinkle ball they haven't seen in a week, they will act like it is a brand new, highly exciting piece of prey. It is a completely free, zero-effort way to keep their environment constantly stimulating and to make sure they never lose interest in their belongings. Let's move on to the third fantastic way to keep your indoor cat thrilled with life, giving them high-quality entertainment. Just like you enjoy binge-watching your favourite shows on Netflix after a long day, your cat needs visual stimulation to keep their brain active. And for an indoor cat, the window is their absolute favourite television screen. Looking outside provides a massive amount of sensory information. They get to watch the birds flying by, the squirrels fighting over an acorn, the neighbour walking their dog, and the leaves blowing in the wind. It keeps their minds sharp and fully engaged. However, a lot of people accidentally block their cat's access to this vital entertainment by keeping the blinds permanently closed or placing furniture in a way that makes the window completely inaccessible. If you want a happy cat, you need to set up a dedicated viewing station. Clear a space on the windowsill, put down a soft blanket, or install a sturdy window hammock, and pull those curtains wide open. Let the sunshine in, and give your little supervisor a clear view of their outdoor kingdom. If you want to take your cat's window TV to the absolute next level and earn the title of Best Cat Parent Ever, you can actively curate the programming. How? By setting up a bird feeder or a squirrel feeder right outside the window where your cat likes to sit. Obviously, make sure it is far enough away so the birds are safe, but close enough that your cat gets a front row seat to the action. It is wildly entertaining to watch your cat sit there, entirely mesmerised, making that hilarious little ek, ek, ek chattering noise at the glass. That chattering is actually a sign of intense predatory excitement. Just one very important safety warning here. If you are going to open the window to let the fresh breeze in, you must ensure that your window screens are completely secure and preferably reinforced. Cats can get so incredibly focused on a passing bug or a nearby bird that they can easily tear through a flimsy screen or push it right out of the frame, leading to a disastrous fall. Provide the entertainment, but always prioritise their safety first. But what if you live in a high-rise apartment with no birds, or your windows face a boring brick wall? Don't worry, technology is here to save the day. You can actually use real screens to provide Cat TV. If you search on YouTube, there are thousands of hours of high-definition videos specifically designed for cats. They feature birds eating seeds, mice running around, and fish swimming in ponds, all with realistic spatial audio. It is amazingly effective. I once put on an 8-hour video of a squirrel eating nuts, and my cat sat 2 inches from the television, completely spellbound, occasionally batting at the screen with his paw. It was the quietest afternoon I had had in months. Just be careful if you have a very aggressive hunter, because some cats will literally try to pounce on your expensive flat-screen TV to catch the digital bird. You don't want a broken television and a confused cat. Use tablets or sturdy monitors, and observe how they react. It is a fantastic, modern way to bust their boredom when they are stuck inside on a rainy day. All right, let's talk about survival necessity number 4, which is deeply connected to how we feed our cats. For most cat owners, mealtime means scooping a cup of dry kibble into a bowl and leaving it on the kitchen floor for the cat to graze on throughout the day. While this is certainly convenient for us, it is incredibly boring for them. In the wild, cats have to work hard for every single calorie they consume. They have to track, stalk, and catch their food. When we just hand them a bowl overflowing with kibble, we completely strip away all of that mental and physical effort. They don't have to think, they just have to open their mouths. This lack of effort leads directly to a phenomenon I like to call the chonk epidemic. Bored cats will eat simply because there is nothing else to do, leading to massive weight gain and lethargy. A fat, bored cat is a depressed cat, even if they look cute and squishy on Instagram. To make your cat happier and much healthier, you need to make them work for their food. You need to introduce the magic of food foraging. The easiest way to introduce foraging is by using food puzzles. A food puzzle is exactly what it sounds like, a device that holds food but requires the cat to figure out a puzzle to get it out. There are rolling balls that drop one piece of kibble at a time as the cat bats it across the floor. There are complex boards with little cups and sliders that they have to manipulate with their paws. For wet food, you can use lick mats with textured surfaces that force the cat to eat slowly and use their tongue, which is highly soothing and releases endorphins in their brain. When a cat has to actively solve a problem to get their meal, you are engaging their natural hunting instincts. They get the thrill of the chase and the satisfaction of a well-earned reward. At first, your cat might look at the puzzle and then look at you, completely offended, as if to say, "Excuse me, human, my bowl is broken, fix it." But be patient. Start with very easy puzzles, and once they figure it out, you will see their confidence soar. They love having a job to do. Now, if you're looking at your bank account and thinking, "I can't afford to buy 10 different fancy plastic puzzles for my cat," I have fantastic news for you. Cats absolutely do not care about price tags or brand names. In fact, as we all know, they usually prefer the trash over the expensive toy anyway. You can make brilliant DIY food puzzles using items you already have in your recycling bin. Take an empty toilet paper roll, fold in the ends, poke a few holes in the sides, put some kibble inside, and you have an instant treat roller. Take an old shoebox, cut a bunch of small, paw-sized holes in the lid, toss some treats inside and tape it shut. Your cat will spend hours fishing the treats out with their little toe beans. You can even just hide small portions of their daily kibble all around the house, on the cat tree, behind the sofa, on a bookshelf, so they actually have to patrol their territory and hunt for their breakfast. It turns your entire house into an exciting game of hide and seek, and it costs absolutely nothing. While we are on the topic of consumption, we have to talk about hydration, because a well-hydrated cat is a happy, healthy cat. Cats are notoriously terrible at drinking enough water, which often leads to dangerous kidney and urinary issues. But did you know that the placement of your water bowl might be exactly why your cat refuses to drink? In the wild, cats instinctively avoid drinking water that is located right next to their freshly killed prey, because the dead prey could contaminate the water source. So, when you place their water bowl right next to their food bowl, their instincts tell them, "Ew, this water is dirty." Try moving their water bowl to a completely different room. Even better, invest in a cat water fountain. Cats are fascinated by moving water, probably because flowing water in nature is usually cleaner and safer to drink than stagnant puddles. Plus, they love to play with the stream. Upgrading their water situation won't just keep them physically healthy. It provides a weird, bubbly source of entertainment for them to stare at for hours. And maybe, just maybe, they will finally stop trying to drink out of your personal water glass. Secret number 5 for a joyous indoor cat is all about safely bringing the great outdoors indoors. Just because your cat is an indoor pet doesn't mean they don't crave the scents and textures of nature. One of the easiest ways to provide this is by growing a little pot of cat grass. Have you ever noticed how a cat will try to chew on your expensive, toxic houseplants and then immediately throw up on your favourite rug? They chew on plants because they naturally crave fibre to help their digestion and to help them pass hairballs. Instead of letting them destroy your monstera plant, buy some cheap oat, rye or wheatgrass seeds and grow them in a shallow container. Within a week, you will have a beautiful patch of fresh, safe grass just for them. They will absolutely love grazing on it, rubbing their faces in it, and sometimes just sleeping right on top of it. It is a tiny, safe slice of the wilderness right in your living room, and it completely satisfies that weird, primal urge to chew on green things. If you have the space and the resources, the ultimate upgrade for an indoor cat is giving them safe, supervised outdoor time. If you have a backyard or even a small balcony, consider building or buying a catio, a fully enclosed, secure patio space just for cats. Catios allow your cat to feel the sun on their fur, smell the incredible outdoor scents, and listen to the birds, all without the dangers of cars, predators, or getting lost. But what if you live in an apartment with no balcony? Enter the cat harness. Yes, you can totally leash train a cat. It takes a lot of patience, and the first time you put the harness on them, they will likely flop over onto their side and dramatically pretend that their legs no longer work. That is completely normal. Let them get used to wearing it inside for a few weeks with lots of treats. Once they are comfortable, you can take them outside for short walks. Even if you just sit on the front step together for 10 minutes while they sniff the bushes, the sensory overload of the outside world is incredibly stimulating and will leave them happily exhausted for the rest of the day. Another fantastic way to bring nature indoors is through the magic of scent stimulation, specifically using catnip and silvervine. We all know about catnip. It is essentially a harmless, non-addictive recreational herb for cats. The essential oil in catnip, called nepetalactone, binds to receptors in their nose and triggers a massive wave of euphoria in their brain. It makes them roll around, purr loudly, drool, and act like absolute goofballs for about 10 to 15 minutes before they crash and take a nap. But did you know that about 30% of cats don't have the genetic receptor for catnip? If your cat ignores catnip, don't worry. Try silvervine instead. Silvervine is a plant native to Asia that has a very similar and sometimes even stronger effect on cats, and almost all cats react to it. You can buy silvervine sticks for them to chew on, which is also fantastic for their dental health. Offering these natural scents a few times a week is a great way to relieve stress, encourage active play, and provide an incredibly fun sensory experience that breaks up the monotony of their day. Finally, we arrive at rule number 6, which might be the most important psychological secret of all. Cats are absolute, unapologetic control freaks. They despise surprises. To a cat, predictability equals safety. If they know exactly what is going to happen and when it is going to happen, they feel secure and relaxed. If their environment is chaotic and unpredictable, they become deeply stressed. This is why establishing a solid daily routine is crucial for their happiness. Try to feed them, play with them, and clean their litter box at the exact same times every single day. Have you ever noticed that your cat wakes you up at precisely 6 a.m. every morning, even on weekends, and completely ignores daylight savings time? That is their internal biological clock demanding that you stick to the schedule. When a cat knows that playtime is always at 8 p.m. and dinner is always at 8:30 p.m, they don't have to spend the whole day feeling anxious about when their next meal is coming. They can just relax, take a nap in a sunbeam, and trust that their loyal human servant has everything completely under control. Part of respecting their need for control is also learning how to give affection on their terms. We humans are primates. Our instinct is to hug, squeeze, and hold the things we love. Cats are not primates. They often feel trapped when they are held tightly. This leads to a lot of miscommunication. For example, the classic tummy trap. Your cat rolls over on their back, exposing their fluffy, irresistible belly. You reach down to pet it, and instantly, they attack your hand with all 4 paws and their teeth. They aren't being mean. In cat language, showing the belly is a sign of ultimate trust, meaning, I feel safe enough around you to expose my most vulnerable organs. But it is not an invitation to touch it. When you touch the belly, you break that trust, and their defensive instincts kick in. To keep your cat happy, learn their boundaries. Stick to petting them on the head, cheeks, and under the chin. If they walk away, let them walk away. When a cat realizes that you respect their physical boundaries, they will actually become much more affectionate and seek out your attention on their own. The deepest way to keep your indoor cat happy is simply to learn how to speak their language and bond with them every day. Take the time to just sit quietly in the same room with them without forcing interaction. When they look at you from across the room, try giving them a slow blink. Slowly close your eyes, hold them closed for a second, and slowly open them. In the feline world, this is a sign of peace and deep affection. It essentially means, I love you and I am not a threat. If you are lucky, your cat will slow blink back at you. Talk to them softly, learn the difference between their demanding, feed me, meow, and their happy, welcome home, trill. Your cat might be confined to the 4 walls of your house, but you are their entire world. You are the bringer of food, the master of the laser pointer, and their favourite warm piece of furniture. By providing vertical space, satisfying their hunting instincts, offering mental puzzles, and respecting their routine, you aren't just keeping them busy, you are building a deep, loving bond with an incredible little predator who chooses to share their life with you. And there you have it, folks. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that furry, chaotic little head of theirs. By making these simple tweaks, adding vertical space, playing with purpose, introducing food puzzles and respecting their routine, you can transform your boring living room into a spectacular feline wonderland. Yes, they might still knock a glass off the table every now and then, and they will definitely still wake you up early. But at the end of the day, despite all their crazy antics, we absolutely adore our tiny feline overlords. We wouldn't trade their purrs and headbutts for anything in the world. If you learned something new today and want to make your cat the happiest pet on the block, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with another cat parent who desperately needs these tips. And before you go, don't forget to answer our question of the day down in the comments. What is the weirdest, most hilarious quirk your cat has? I read every single comment, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Stay positive, give your kitty a treat for me, and I will see you in the next video.